So the draft is over. It's been over for a few days now, and by the time I finish this video, it'll probably be a week since the draft has ended. So I wanted to come on here and talk about the Atlanta Falcons picks, get my 2 cents, and then tell you what the people who actually watch these players and watch college football think. Number one, Bijan Robinson, coming out of Texas, the running back. Watching his highlights, he seems to have a good run discipline. He's very capable of making guys miss and keeping his balance and still be able to run for 20, 40, 60 yards down the field. He also seems like a bruiser. When he makes contact with the defenders, he's hard to bring down. And once again, he does a very good job of keeping his balance. And I heard reports about him being able to catch out of the backfield, which I think will benefit Desmond Ridder a lot, seeing how this will be his first full season to start, assuming that he does start. It feels as if this roster is built for him to succeed, and he's in a good position right now from what it looks like on paper. So yes, my takes on Bijan Robinson: run discipline, showing patience, being able to make guys miss, and catching out of the backfield. And I'm definitely not mad at this pick because I did say that Atlanta needs to get a back that can catch out of the backfield and has good speed, because Tyler Algier, he's more of a bruiser and he's also elusive, but he doesn't really have that true breakaway speed. So I think this pick could potentially set up Atlanta for having a three-headed monster at running back. You got Cordell Patterson, who's a bruiser, who will find the lane and hit it with full acceleration, and he's tough to bring down in the open field. We've seen that. Then you have Tyler Algier, also another bruiser, but more elusive. And now you have Bijan Robinson, who is a bit of a bruiser, elusive, and can catch out of the backfield. So here's what the people from NFL.com say about Bijan Robinson. Here's the overview. Full menu back blending, a smorgasbord of position-specific traits that allow him to affect games. Robinson is well built with a compact lower half and pairs a low center of gravity with agile feet. There are elements of both fight and flight in his running style, but defenders can never be quite sure what they are going to get. He's capable of inside-outside runner with unique footwork to stack moves and reset pathways, but can plow into tacklers at a moment's notice, using elite contact balance to keep the run rolling. He might need to dial back efforts to search out big runs so frequently and take what is there a little more often to keep from getting bogged down. His pass catching talent ensures the opportunity for Robinson to see a high number of touches. He has a chance to become one of the more productive runners in the league very quickly. Strengths: 3-down back with exceptional talent in all phases, owns a variety of footwork tools to alter pace, direction, and power. Feet are fast and fully connected with his vision for optimal results. Resets run track with sudden jump cuts against penetration. Runs low to the ground and possesses rare contact balance. Ability to stack moves adds a level of unpredictability to his carries. Pinballs off angle strikes and can rip through leg tackles. Pairs instant burst with solid top end speed. Finishes runs with authority. Soft hands and a nightmare to deal with on wheel routes. So he can do wheel routes. So he can stretch the field a little bit more rather than just catching out of the backfield. Weaknesses: might need to quicken operation time against speedy NFL defenses. Occasionally looks to better deal run lanes when he should be finishing. Needs to run with a more decisive plant and go mentality. Needs more consistent urgency and pass protection duties. Number 2, Matthew Bergeron, offensive tackle out of Syracuse. I am all for drafting offensive linemen, because outside of the quarterback, I think the offensive line and the defensive line are two vital key pieces to a football team success. So watching the highlights for Matthew, when it comes to pass blocking, he doesn't really get pushed back, or he seems not to get pushed back. He stands his ground, he keeps his balance, he's able to move his feet left and right quickly. And as far as run blocking is concerned, when it comes to zone blocking, he's able to find his assignments and is able to create a running lane for the running back. Now let's see what NFL.com had to say. I'm pretty sure a person wrote this scouting report, but I'll just keep saying NFL.com. The overview: a college tackle who could be best playing inside at guard. Bergeron is evenly proportioned and wears his weight well on a compact frame. He's a dynamic run blocker, able to excel in all three phases: positioning, sustain, and finish. He's just as capable of climbing and tagging second level linebackers as he is at opening lanes at the point of attack with leg drive. He's athletic enough to play tackle, but inconsistent anchor and hand placement could cause concern for evaluators. While his protection issues are potentially correctable, Bergeron's scheme, versatile, Pro Bowl caliber run blocking potential might hasten a team's decision to move him inside. Strengths: starting experience at both tackle spots, shows a strong desire to impose his will on the man across from him. Run blocking technique is top notch across the board. Fits into his target it with his head up and hips unlocked, kicks or caves his block with rapid fire foot chop with the leverage position, improves his positioning through the sustain phase of the block. Body control and radar to make his blocks against second level linebackers, quick initial slide steps to range out to speed rush, hips can open quickly and ride rusher up the arc, stays connected to rushers with quality hand latch. Weaknesses: hand placement and pass protection is a concern, inconsistent footwork getting into his pass sets, punch can swing wide open his chest, gives far too much ground to bull rushers, his punch lands high and wide which limits natural core and anchor strength, needs to be careful over shooting lateral landmarks as a run blocker. Number 3, Zach Harrison, edge rusher out of Ohio State, another pick that I am not upset with. I want to see the Falcons have a pass rush, so hopefully this guy will have a immediate impact on the team. Looking at his highlights, what stood out to me the most as soon as I looked at this dude was his size. He's a big guy with a long wingspan, and he has a knack for knocking the ball loose. Those long arms of his can help benefit him as far as batting the ball down and just affecting the quarterback in general, whether he gets to the quarterback or not. So I think it's always important for defensive ends to not only learn how to get to the quarterback, but to also show patience and understand that if you're not going to beat the offensive lineman, still be ready to time your jump and be ready to knock down the pass from the quarterback of the opposing team. He's not like Arnold Ebiketie where he just bull rushes. He seems to have a couple of finesse moves in his repertoire. Overview for Zach Harrison. Harrison is big and long with the ability to neutralize base blocks as a 4-3 base end, but his gradual movement and lack of playmaking urgency limited his overall production. Harrison has the physical tools to create occasional advantages early in the rush, but needs to get better at capitalizing on them. His size and length will always be appealing, but a more fiery demeanor on the field might be needed to raise his status beyond rotational end. Strengths: exceptional arm length, uses inside jab step to open outside angle as pass rusher, lays out to attack throwing hand for strip sacks, makes well-timed challenges to bat down the pass, physical traits to help neutralize run blocks, able to jab, separate, and sit down to create a firm edge, good build-up speed when rushing in pursuit. Weaknesses: really gets on top of the blocker quickly, pass rush is segmented and gradual, struggles with rush transitions and counter quickness, below average mass and strength in his lower body, lacks playmaking urgency, reach and grab tackler. Number 4, Clark Phillips III, a cornerback out of Utah. It seems as if Atlanta is trying to find someone to play on the other side of AJ Terrell. What stood out to me the most about Clark was his ability to finish, and when I say finish, his ability to intercept the pass. He's capable of going up and snatching 50-50 balls out of the air, getting the ball for his team, and also taking it back to the house. He doesn't seem like he constantly has his hands on the wide receiver, impeding their wide receiver to catch the football. He looks capable of playing man coverage. Overview for Clark. Phillips might not be a big, long cornerback, but he's a playmaker. He has the play traits to continue down the same path as a pro. He's a ferocious student of the game. I don't think I'm saying that word right, but and has developed a feel for reading the quarterback's drops and eyes. He's a little tight-hipped and can give away separation at the top of the route, but when he's clued in, Phillips uses aggressive angles to search from takeaways. He's tough, smart, and knows how to play. He should become a solid nickel cornerback, but his success could be tethered to matchups from week to week. Strengths: student of the game and football cinephile. I don't know what. Okay. Chiseled physique with plus strength for its size. Plays a bold brand of football. Reads quarterback and route simultaneously. Attacks throws with playmaking angles and determined demeanor. Finished career with 9 interceptions, including 4 return for scores. Twitchy plant and drive when responding to throws. Physical in tight quarters. Weaknesses: lateral transitions to shadow the route are turbulent, allows early separation against shallow crossing routes, could struggle staying connected to routes from the slot, will look to do too much from zone at times. Downfield physicality could lead to flags at the next level. Short limbs could limit jump ball challenges and tackling in space. Number 5, DeMarco Hellams, safety from Alabama. Watching him, he seems to do a pretty good job of looking at the quarterback's eyes, in knowing where he's going to go with the football and making a play on the pass catcher. He seems to be very good of tackling in the open field and knocking the ball loose out of the pass catcher's hands, out of the wide receiver's hands. I don't know how he is when it comes to blitzing. I hope he's very good at blitzing the quarterback, getting around the D gaps, or possibly shooting through the C gaps. Overview: boundary safety with good size and adequate anticipation, but a lack of quality makeup burst when beaten over the top. Helms can cover tight ends and is comfortable in split zone looks, but needs to do a much better job of staying deeper than the deepest target. He's fairly consistent as a tackler, but doesn't always take the most efficient routes to the ball. He's physical and can play high or low. Helms has a chance to become a good backup and plus special teams player. Strengths: fits up his run defense responsibilities, bend and wrap tackler in the open field, shifts through combination routes from high safety, anticipates and breaks quickly on throws in front of him, strikes with force over the middle, races in as sticky tackler, limit to run after catch. Weaknesses: tight hips require time to open and transition, below average recovery burst to chase deep routes, loses ground in lateral transitions, pursuit angles and run support, lack control and leverage, gets glued for too long to blockers in space. And last but not least, Javon Gwyn, guard out of South Carolina. He seems to be more physical when it comes to run blocking. Like, he's looking to initiate punishment when he makes contact with a defender. And I think that's going to be very good for this offensive line. You want offensive linemen to have a mean attitude. I think that's a very underrated trait to have on a team. So to me, he comes off as a nitty-gritty type of player. The overview for Mr. Gwyn. Gwyn is a solid football player, but his lack of size and strength is a major hindrance. Relative to staying at guard, he's likely to prove that he can snap and play center, where he will still be considered undersized. He's a tenacious run blocker who can operate in multiple schemes, but might not be able to shine in any of them. Gwyn plays a firm base and good body control and protection, but lacks the strength and range to consistently protect gaps. Gwyn will be a one-position player, but has enough talent and technique to compete for a roster spot at center. With strengths, 4-year starter and a well-respected teammate. Adequate first step, quickness as zone and pull blocker, plays under his pass and with body control, hand strength and foot movement to stay connected to blocks, very firm when standing up to power rushers, able to open his hips and slide to recovery in pass sets. Weaknesses: undersized with the short arms, unable to move bodies around as a drive blocker, will struggle to keep big guys from crossing his face, not enough range to protect widening rush gaps. Short arms allow rushers to work around his pass mirror. So yeah, that's my take. Well, to be honest, that was whoever wrote that scouting report take. I don't really watch college football, so I don't really follow these players. So I did what I did last year. I just gave my 2 cents by watching the highlights and gave the scouting report from the people who actually follows these players. Did Terry Fontenot draft potential superstars? I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I can't really tell. I'm not one of these people that will predict the future and say that, oh, this guy's going to be the next best thing and he's going to be the next Troy Polamalu and he's going to be the next Barry Sanders and all that BS. But I do like the picks. The picks I like the most are Bijan, Matthew, Clark, DeMarco, and Javon. So basically all of them. But I definitely like Bijan Robinson the most. I think Atlanta will potentially have a serious threat at the running back position. A true three-headed monster with Cordell Patterson, Tyler, and Bijan. So I'm more excited about the running back position. So tell me what you guys think. If anyone comes across this video, are you excited? Do you like these picks? What do you think about these picks? Please like and subscribe. That is it. I am out.